Alright, so we're going to take a look at Vertex Form. So, same tab, the middle column. That's what Vertex Form looks like, where H and K is the vertex. The first step is always going to be, is it positive or negative? So that number outside, is it positive or negative? It's negative, so it's a sad face, and so that means it looks like the sad face, so it's going down, which means it has a maximum, because the highest point is a maximum. So always going to be our first step is to look at the number, at the sign outside. Okay, positive, happy face going up, minimum. Negative, sad face going down, maximum. All right, second step is always going to be to find the vertex. So we need to find the vertex. If it's not already in Vertex Form, you need to rewrite it in Vertex Form. In other words, it needs to look just like this. X minus. So you see it's not minus, it's plus, right? So we have to make that minus. And how do you make that minus? You write X minus -1. Listening check, color in the E's in the title vertex. Color in the E's. And then squared plus 3. Now it's in Vertex Form. Once it's in Vertex Form, find the vertex. And again, H and K is a vertex, so what's H? H is -1 because H is the last thing after the minus. So it has to be minus and then whatever H is. And then K is plus 3. So your vertex is -1, 3. So step 1, what's the sign outside? Step 2, find the vertex. Step 3, draw axis of symmetry at the vertex. So it's the same for all 3 kinds of quadratics that are going to be written the same way. So find the vertex. All right, so we know it's a maximum, and we know that the highest point is -1, 3. So when you're thinking about how to graph this, -1, 3 is there. You don't need that much space in the positive y, you need more space in the negative y. That's why you'll see me graph it the way I'm graphing it now. Try and make these as evenly spaced as you possibly can. Alright, so you always start with graphing the vertex, which is -1, 3. And we already know it's going down, so -1, 3. And then you draw your line of symmetry at the vertex, so a vertical line of symmetry at the vertex. Right. Then the next step is to make a table. So we're going to make a table and plot our points. When you're making your table, you want to always pick your vertex because you already have those numbers, which is -1, 3. And then you always want to pick x value of 0 for sure, and then any other x's you want left or right of the vertex. I'm going to try and stay with the positive numbers because I like working with positive. So these are the numbers I'm going to do. And all you have to do is write down your equation and put the x value in. So it starts -2, then where you see an x, put 0, plus 1, squared, plus 3. Same thing here, only this time I'm putting 1. So watch my finger. I'm just putting where I see x, I'm going to put the value 2. So I'm just evaluating this, just basically plugging in numbers. And then you just take a calculator and type it exactly as you see it. -2. Don't use minus, -2, negative. Open parentheses, 0 plus 1, close parentheses, squared, which is that button there, plus 3. Enter. Same thing for all 3 of them. This is a listening check. Color in the table under number 4. Both x and y values, all of them. So what's that saying? It's saying when x is 0, y is 1. When x is 1, y is -5, and when x is 2, it's -15. Now plot those points. So 0, 1, 1, -5, 2, -15. Once you have plotted your points, your final step is to mirror those points across the line of symmetry. So it's just the same as the one before. Mirror those points across the line of symmetry. What does that mean? Count the number of spaces from each point to the line and then keep going in the other direction the same amount. So 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then now you're just going to join it as best as you can, which makes sense because it's a sad face, so we already know that it's supposed to go that way with a max happening there. Once you've plotted your graph, you can answer any question they throw at you, anything at all. So if they ask for the x-intercepts, now with the x-intercepts, I'll show you how to do those exacts later. Let's find the y-intercept first. Y-intercept is where x is equal to 0, which is 1. Your axis of symmetry, I already drew it. Remember, it's where your vertex happens at the x value. So x equals negative 1. Where it goes to the x one time. The vertex was already answered before, but just reading it off the graph, it's negative 1, 3. Is it a max or minimum? It's a maximum because it never ends going down, right? Does it open up or open down? It's a sad face, so it opens down. So listening check, color in like N and like U. So open down is like an N, opening up is like a U. End behavior. So what's happening as x goes to negative infinity, and what's happening as x goes to positive infinity? What's happening to the y value? So as x goes to negative infinity, what's happening to y? It's going down towards what? Negative infinity. As x is going to positive infinity, what's y doing? It's going down again to negative infinity. It goes on forever. Your domain is your x, your range is your y. So domain, is there a graph all the way from left to right? Yes, because that graph goes down forever. So all real numbers. Is there a graph? Oh, and you can write that as negative infinity to infinity open parentheses. Is there a graph going with a y? It starts at negative infinity because it goes down forever. Does it stop or does it go all the way up? It stops right there at the maximum at the vertex. So it stops at the y value of 3. And you close the bracket to include it because it includes the point 3. Right. Average rate of change is always a change in y over change in x. It means to find the slope. So in that interval, you do x2 minus x1, and then you need to find y2 minus y1 in that interval. And the interval they gave you is 0, 1. At 0, y is equal to 1, and at 1, y is equal to negative 5. And then just put them in the formula. So y2 is negative 5 minus 1. And you just grab your calculator, and you go negative 5 minus 1, and you go 1 minus 0. So you have negative 6 over 1, which simplifies to negative 6. So my average rate of change is negative 6. And that's it. Let's practice.